Welcome back to the Always Thinking Mindset channel, where we give you positive vibes and simple rules to achieve your goals. Now, in today's video, we're going to discuss on 3 ways to help you with your personal finances. Now, before we begin, I'd like for you to give it a thumbs up if you take any value from this video. And if you love this channel, then I think you know what you have to do. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, on the first one, it's pretty fairly easy on how to improve personal finances, and it has to do with saving, right? Saving is a big component whenever you're trying to navigate through personal finances because a lot of people get their check and they pay their bills and then they spend it. And in the end, it ends up being the zero factor or negative at that, but you got to put away 10 to 20% of your paycheck or earnings into savings. What does this mean? This means that you pay yourself first, right? Because it's not just about bills and surviving, it's about investing and paying your future self. So, with the 10 or 20% avenue of when you get paid and the stuff that you get to accumulate with time, it ends up benefiting you in the end because in the end it's so easy to spend money and it's easy to have bills. I mean, bills are pretty much common when it comes to living real day lives, but savings is so important when it comes to personal finance, just management of money, seeing where your money's at. And whenever you're able to put something aside and not pay attention to it, it'll accumulate. Trust me, with interest, you forgetting, just make it an automatic rule of you saving 10 to 20% of your income into saving. And then later on, it's whatever money. That means is you can pay more bills if you want. You could take more vacations, or you could just keep investing that money. So savings is that simple. Which leads me to my second rule, which is lifestyle upgrades. What does this mean? Lifestyle upgrades is one of those things that everybody gets a raise, a bonus, and they see this extra income as more spending. And you got to live below your means, right? If you want to get ahead in life, it's called delayed gratification. So just because you got that bonus or just because you got a raise doesn't mean you go out and spend more. You got to still track your expenses. In fact, you got to live below your means and think of that money as extra money to enhance a better lifestyle, not just be flashy and spending and not knowing where these expenses go. So, lifestyle upgrades means that because you get a raise or a bonus, it doesn't mean you go out and spend more, right? It's actually opposite. You save more, and you're actually see your timeline in accruing with compound interest. Now, lifestyle changes depends on your circumstance. If you are single, if you are married, if you have kids, those are all 3 different scenarios there. But in the end, we have to make the choices now in order to improve ourselves later on. So lifestyle changes is a huge, huge component in personal finance, right? How disciplined you are in order to save money, which leads me to my last rule of just saving money, but not only that, investing in things, right? Because what good is money if it's just sitting there stockpiling if you're not helping it flow, right? That's how money works. It's energy, it just moves. It has to be this continuous river. Let money work for you, right? Whether you're investing in stocks, bonds, real estate, there's so many financial avenues, buying gold, Bitcoin, which I still don't get, but someone help me understand what Bitcoin is. But anyways, yeah, just invest in having a portfolio and pay your future self. Think about it like that because you will have struggles in the future. You will have bills in the future. Taxes will go up. Things will happen later on in life that you wish you did something about in the now, which is today. And, in the end, this is what I say. Once you save, once you learn how to manage money, you'll just have a better feel for life and avenue because you're able to take on more hits of what life has to offer. Now, with that being said, I don't want you to take this as always saving, always working, never spending life experiences. No, it's a balance. But at the same time, do it, because at the same time you're always there to question, your expenses and the way life works. And life is unpredictable. You have to be ready for that. So in the end, whenever you save, please invest into it. Your future self will thank you. Whether it's you open up an IRA or a traditional an account for savings, CDs. There's so many avenues of you just putting your money away and let the money work for you later. Now, which ends today's video, which I always say, just a general disclaimer: I am not a financial advisor or professional. Please don't listen to a guy on the internet, but at the same time, understand the avenues and the risks and make your own personal choices here. I'm just a guy with a talk show or a channel. But if you like today's video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. It does help the algorithm. If you don't, no subscription necessary. But if you love this channel, which I think you do, you can hit that little subscribe button. But until next time, we will speak soon.